Once upon a time, there were lots of rats, and some of them were fed fresh milled flour bread, and some of them were fed traditional all purpose flour type bread. The ones that were fed fresh milled 4 generations later were still running around having a great time, and this kind, yeah, they went sterile. So goodbye to that bloodline. Today, I'll be making a recipe from one of the most classic cookbooks out there, and I will be making huckleberry muffins. They're in here as blueberry muffins, but I like to use huckleberries. So I'll be changing the all-purpose flour to any cup of all-purpose flour. I'll be trying to do 150 grams of soft white wheat berries that I'm going to grind, and I'll be double changing it today, so we'll see if that's dangerous or not. I'll be changing the white sugar to coconut sugar. So I'll see how this goes. We're gonna start with my soft white wheat berries in my trusty grain mill. I've got a Wonder Mill. I don't know if there's a certain model. That's what I got. So let's see. Figure might as well not get a whole lot of dishes dirty, so I'll be using this same bowl in a minute. I love it. It's called a batter bowl because it's got this little thing on it. But this is pretty loud, and you always want to start it first, get it up to its full going, and then pour this in so that these don't get stuck in the gears. Anyways, here we go. Grain mills are pretty loud, so I turned the volume way down, and I'll be doing a voiceover for this part. But after I put them in, I decided that it was time to mix the rest of the dry ingredients while I was waiting for it to mill. So that's what I did next, mix the dry ingredients. If you look at my bowl, I absolutely love it. It's Mason Cash is the brand, and I think it's a very fun, beautiful, festive looking bowl. So I recommend using beautiful things in your life if you can afford it. I mean, I'd rather have one nice pretty bowl than a whole bunch of bowls that I don't like using. So that's my thought process there. You wait till it quiets all the way down, take it apart if you don't want flour everywhere, which I don't. So I'm holding some aside for a later part. Alright, I shouldn't need the scale anymore because the rest of this is just written in cups. So we got all my dry ingredients. I'll mix them together. I do really like having this kind of dough whisk, although this is going to be a little more battery, so maybe it's not the right move. Let's switch. I also like my olive wood spoons. Got them from Trader Joe's. They usually sell them around Christmas time. They're the best. They actually have spatulas that I like more if I'm cooking with them, but for mixing something in a bowl like this, I like the spoons better. So this is what my sugar, salt, flour, and baking powder looks like right now. And now I have my milk. It has a 1/4 cup of cooking oil, and I'm a big fan of not using seed oils, so I have this avocado oil. You can also melt butter and then let it cool down a little so it's not super hot. That might have been a tad more than I meant to do. It shouldn't be too bad, and it calls for a beaten egg, so I'll just beat it in with this before we mix it all together. I'm a little crunchy, so we have raw milk. It won't be raw once I bake everything, but got raw milk, and I've got pasture-raised eggs from some people that live in the area. So, all right, making a little bit of a mess. The consistency is always a little different when you switch to fresh milled. So you always hope that it's going to turn out, and sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. You just do the best you can. It's looking a little too runny to me, so I think I'm going to mill a little extra flour, and we'll see if that works how we want it to. This is Sophie from the future, and my phone is about to stop recording, and I'm really not sure why. So you'll miss some of it. I will mix in some huckleberries. I will make what's supposed to be a crumb topping. I will put it all in the muffin tins, and I will bake it. And you'll miss all of that, but you will see what it looks like at the end, and I will share what I think went well and what I think I would change next time. My first notes: use cold butter if you're going to cut it in for a streusel topping, and probably don't use coconut sugar for a streusel topping. Does not look like a streusel topping, but we'll have to see how it tastes, and then I can give you more feedback. Usually I take muffins out pretty immediately, but I'm gonna let them cool and see if they come out any better. Came out a lot cleaner, a little cooler, so do let them cool a little bit. Hi, this is me later realizing I forgot to share my thoughts on how they tasted. I actually think they came out with a really good taste, especially for fresh milled. It is a difference to get used to, but I felt like it was more similar to the original taste than I thought it would be. And I actually really like the coconut sugar in the muffins, just not in the streusel topping. So if muffins are a recipe you want to switch over, use a soft wheat. And I do think it had a pretty good outcome. So that would be one that I would recommend trying if you are trying to switch to fresh milk.